Okay. Okay. So, welcome everybody. And first, I will start with the query what Shaila has answered. See, any advertising has a two kind of, there are many kind, but one is a thematic approach, and one is the like a normal is announcement. When you are do announcement, how can you incorporate your thematic advertising into your announcement or any new. Okay, so if I say if I say parachute. Okay, if parachute say that it's a living breathing beauty, because I think that's the line. If you see on the parachute bottle, I've not seen for a long time, but uh, I think around 15 years back, when I was there, it was rebranded, and uh, from the old parachute, making a new brand and a new icon. And if you see on the bottle, there is a new graphics, and there is a new line also. I've not seen, but they shouldn't have any reason to change, and the parachute change into the very modern way. So say living breathing beauty, okay, which means your hair basically uh, it is a hair brand, they have, so that's why hair is, living, breathing, beautiful. And so, have you say, if you have seen, like even some film, if you have realized hair is always flowing, even the dupattas are always flowing, so they put a fan so that the liveliness comes. Okay, so the flowing hair is always considered as a more beautiful hair. Even the ad, even also, that's why you will see lots of people in the hair ad, whether they are running down the staircase or they're running, so the hair should bounce and fly, so it looks more lively. Okay, the concept comes from here, living, breathing, and beautiful. Okay, so if I say the thematic ad, what I will say, beautiful girl, and say living, breathing beauty with parachute, and the reason to believe why parachute, because it nurtures, blah blah. It has a pure coconut, blah blah. Okay, now that is a thematic ad. Okay, but are you clear on this? Everybody, just put if you are clear on thematic ad. Okay, just put everybody in the chat box. So I think, okay, great. Thanks, Shankar. And for you, especially whoever are running a company or doing communication, Shankar. So for you, it will be useful even more. Saila, for you, Dhiresh, since you are not running a brand, but you should know about this. And Lawrence is also running, have a brand. So, and Bharat also. And how can you use it, how can use it, it will be very very helpful. Okay, now you understood thematic. Now I'm saying announcement. Okay, if the parachute says ki, now parachute is available in say 300 ml bottle, okay, or 40% discount on some bottle, or like even Bharat has a brand. If I say कि the ghee is 40% more or 60% less, or so this is the announcement, this is not thematic. So you get the difference between thematic communication and announcement communication. Okay, or announcement could be anything. Now it's available in Mumbai. Imagine, okay, it's if some brand, South Indian brand, chick shampoo, let's say chick shampoo is available in Mumbai. Okay, so, or Kalyan Jewelers. So what about, so how I'll, so what I mean to say, so normal brand you will do 40% less on, say parachute. Okay, parachute now is in a 300 ml bottle. Okay, this is the the simple communication too. But when we add the thematic approach to it, because every ad, uh, you don't know whether he has been exposed to the older ad. So what is the brand promise? Okay, so also what you can do, if parachute is says living breathing beauty, so you can say living breathing beauty now in a 300 ml bottle. So you announce that it's in a 300 ml bottle, but also you plugged in your what is the main or theme of your brand. So even first time he is getting and getting exposed to your brand, exposed to your brand, then he will understand what is the brand promise or what is the main promise of your brand. So it if even a film, so if you now you start watching your ad film from this point of view, how the big brand advertise what they say and what the small brand advertise. And you always even like when I was new, I always used to fight to the client, why you are unnecessary loading the communication. But then you when you realize later on, these are necessary, because you don't know that your consumer has been exposed to your other communication or not. So even the first time they are being exposed, they will kind of get the brand promise. Number one. Number two, how you can visualize these things. Okay, so if I am say, that parachute bottle into, now 500 more or something, whatever. So there are many ways, make, exaggerate. So these are the things you can exaggerate. So bottle is shot such an angle, it looks like, it is touching the sky, or maybe it's not fitting into the bag. So there are many ways you can so the good part of any the advertising or this thing, how you visualize it. Okay, so visualization here is in a bigger bottle. So uh, so how to, and these are the things you can exaggerate, and people understand that this is a, it's not a credibility does not get harm. I know it's see, basically whatever advertising, it should be delightful, little dramatic, little surprising, or and if you kind of especially for this FMCG, or because brand, because we are exposed to the so many communication, and what is the way to stand out? Unless you don't do drama or something, you won't stand out. So whatever, always remember, even your communication, you choose your visual, you choose your communication. Don't be normal. Don't be normal. Try to be, abnormal, and abnormal in a good sense. So even your personal communication, or another communication. So there are many ways. So why I told, bring on the say yoga ad, yoga ad. See, yoga is such thing, it has lots of colors and lots of meaning, and also lots of visualization you can do, like this guy Charan has tried one way. Okay, so so you should also try to, how can you be abnormal, how can I be little different, try to what I call it, a ketchup complex or ketchup syndrome or ketchup mentality. Remember, Maggie has it's a different. So whenever you do something, you always say, "What is different here? Am I different? Look wise, concept wise. The way I have cropped the image, the way I have put the font. And there are many ways you can be, different. One way I'll tell you, and this is, listen very very carefully, all of you. See, in this world, if you see, most of the things are, rectangle or square. The boxes, mobile phone, our bed, our most table, computer monitor. Most of the things are, rectangle or square. Okay, so in a design, So our eyes are, used to seeing as the rectangle or, a square thing. This is the shape we are in the papers. So if you try to use the circle, certainly it looks different. So but that's why, if you see in an ad, you should try to, if you want to little different. Like I just saw, this guy, I think Bhushan's, so that circle, if it would have been a, square or rectangle, it would have been uh, it was not looking as good. Okay, so number one. And sometimes, uh, uh, try to let the, visual breathe. Don't put anything around it, or, put into the circle, or, square. So yes, if you get a chance, if you can put a circle, otherwise don't put anything. Don't, suffocate the visual. I mean, so many times, unless, you want to highlight or whole thing. So these are the things, will come to you slowly. Okay. uh, so, Shala, hope, I was able to answer your question between thematic and announcement, and is for a brand is very necessary. So, okay, thanks a lot, Shala. Thanks for asking the question. Okay, now, I'll start the presentation, and then let me see what is the presentation. Let me share the screen. Okay. So where is my presentation? Okay, are you, this page is visible?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. So again, welcome to the another master class, and uh, it will be productive. It will be, like a value. I'm sure about it. So, we'll talk about, design hacks, working resources, and audit. This is the template. Okay, some starting point again, and I always. You know say now every, class I'll start this, because I have to hammer this in your mind, that what is the design process, because I still see lots of people are not following, or lack of time or something, don't understand the importance of a, starting point, like the design process. Okay, so again, the design process is divided into, in a six stages, and if six stages, you can have a three steps. Okay, so first is the ideation, so generating ideas, and before generating ideas, you have to plan. What is the planning? And for is for any business or for any brand. Okay, the planning is understanding the competition, because we are not, my brand or my creativity or my Facebook post or my none of the my elements are in isolation. It's in a context of other ads, context of other brands. So planning, in the planning part, let me see. Okay, I'll go in another slide. So always ideation, creation, and implementation. So ideation is a planning and idea generation. Creation is a content and design, and presentation, how you put the, everything together, and distribution, how you put, wherever it's a print ad, or it's social media or whatever. So this you have to take care now. So the first step is ideation. Ideation in the planning part, understanding the customer, understanding the market, competition, referencing, and researching. Okay, what is the difference between, referencing and researching? Researching, say if you are launching, uh, say dental brand, you are for launching the ghee, so you have to, ghee. referencing is all about, what are the things other has done, and researching is what could be the benefit of the ghee, whether I can say Ayurvedic magic, or I can say, healthy, or is it a greeny, or is it a white or a yellow. So you should know enough, whether you say cow milk is better, or whatever, taste, or whatever, so you should have a proper, research, or since it's your brand, you should know everything about how it's produced, which milk, gives you the best, what is the difference between desi ghee and other ghee, and even the how the ghee can be adulterated, what is the why some ghee says a pure ghee, and everything, so that you can make your brand on one of these points. So that is the that is also the ideation part. Okay. And second is the idea generation. Now that you have understood what are the, where the, universe, where is the ghee universe. So in that, what is the idea, can be. Okay. So it could be, uh, and it many ways it can be, so tasty you will always overeat. Okay. It could be, say tasty, so people will, flock at your home, everybody is looking excuse to come home for your food. Also there are many ways. So remember, so where I'm there now, I'm what is the idea generation. So what I'm going to talk about the brand, what is the where. So this is the, there are different idea generating idea techniques, but this way, I'm saying you should know how to generate idea for your brand. Okay. Now that, you have done the ideation part, now the creation part. Okay. So creation is what a content and design, what is the, design, when words and a picture come together in a certain, arrangement to communicate something, that is design. Okay. So you see what are the elements we got, words, we got a picture, and we got, arrangement. Okay. So then creation, headline, and many ways. So you should most of the time we just put a picture, we don't think much about the headline, much about the content. But yes, see, the image makes a mood, but people remember the, the words, say it's like a song. It could be a very beautiful song, but everybody is not so, tuned that they do, but they hum or they sing the, song, the words. So sometimes words are also not sometimes, most of the time words are also, see, so many times if you see, uh, even the tune is not so great. I'm saying we they always say copy, but words are new, so it becomes a super hit. So that's why, the creation, content, and the design. Design, then you have to know the design knowledge, design tools, and other things. So this is how the creation part. And then the implementation part, say how to present, what kind of, which media, everything, and another thing I'll tell you here, that don't overdo it. Remember when there is a on a Sunday, when there is a newspaper, there is a full, flyer, 50 flyers, used to drop from the newspaper. Okay. So you won't look at any of them unless you stand out, that you have the biggest, you have the best, you have the thickest, so you have to, uh, again, the difference. And say there's a difference between spamming and advertising. There is a difference between spamming and advertising. What is the difference? Say election time, even say your say you don't like one candidate, I'm saying, say imagine Bharat, the like standing for election, and opposite him is a Narendra Modi. Okay. Even Bharat put the entire town red with his name and his the slogan and a hoarding. People aren't going unless Bharat gives some value or something very very different. So it's like more is not always the accepted thing. So there is a difference. So many people, if you see in so many WhatsApp group, same message they keep putting. I mean, see, sometimes overdoing becomes harms your brand and harms your image. So try to not to do overthink. You should have a judgment how much and also exclusivity goes. Have you seen ever Rolex advertising every day in the newspaper? No, because there has to be some mystery of the brand, mystery of the thing. Don't over irritate others. There's so much. See, if 2 or 3 times they have seen and if they like your brand, I'm sure they will whether only reason they are not reaching out, whether they are not liked or they don't have a need at this. So if they don't like it and if you overdo it, it's like a credit card company calling you again and again. And nowadays a card 24, how do you get irritated. Same way, one should have a judicious use of advertising or communication. That judgment you have to the whole funda जो दिखता है वो बिकता है. इसका मतलब ये नहीं जो ज्यादा दिखता है वो ज्यादा बिकता है. It's not like that. It's what you say, what kind of communication you have. So that you have to distribution you have to keep in mind. Okay, so that's why this is always I say that you have to keep hammering the design process and start slicing. Okay, how to generate idea, how to do research, how to competition, how to segregate competition. So all those things we'll try to because such a entire thing you have to master of this and everything else come to see. Vision, skill anybody can hire, but vision everybody cannot hire. Vision you have to give as a thinker. So develop a vision and then implement it, as simple as this. Okay. Now, so some design hacks for one sec. Let me see. Hope you people got it. What I'm saying, okay. All of you, did you get this design process? Was it useful? Just put your thought into the chat box. What is your takeaway? What is your takeaway?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, no, put into the chat box, Shankar. What is the takeaway? Uh, uh, like a design process. What the thing are, so that you will understand that and you will. So of all the things you can write, ideation, creation, and implementation. So you, while doing that, you can. So Dhiresh is saying, visualization is how to design. So all of you just put some thought so that it will be etched in your mind. It will get into your learning mind, subconscious mind. Okay, great. Lawrence is saying uh, Prasad is creating from the point of a brand. If you don't have time tight deadlines, how to go through all. See, it's like it's a mental process, time, this thing, first, it's like is over the period. If you have matured enough or you have experience enough, you can lessen the time. It's like newbie, like say Prasad will be knowing, Photoshop, if you are not experienced, one say cutout in a Photoshop sometimes takes an hour. But if you are an experienced person, you can do in 20 minutes. So entire thing, if you keep doing, it will, crunch the time. You'll able to, it's like, in a minimum clicks, how can you, do that? That is the whole idea. So in a minimum time, how can you, implement all this process? That's as simple as that. So you have to keep doing so that you can able to crunch time. Okay. Okay, so basically, uniqueness. Yes, Mita. What is so for the catchphrase for you, ketchup syndrome. Ketchup, the Maggie has it's a different. So always think what is different here. Whether it's a visual, is a thought, or something, and try to highlight the that uniqueness, or what we call it, a brand differentiation. Okay. Sadhvai, what is the differentiator? We always when what is the difference between Colgate and Pepsodent, Pepsodent and Colgate Sensitive, or Oral B? So, what is the brand differentiator? So we always ask, when doing creative, okay, tell me what is brand your brand differentiator? Okay. Correct. Why people will buy? No, why client will buy the product? No, why people will buy the product? Yes. I mean, at the end of the day, that is a client. But yes, why? So always think. It's a good point, Prasad. Why? So always ask why. You know. So why people will like it? Why people buy it? Why people will pay for it? Why people will, if you are providing a service, why people will join my class? So so good. So now we'll come to the another knowledge sections. Today is 26 June. Yes. Okay, now, so today all of you have to have a just few of your favorite fonts. You should choose it. It's not that every time whether you are a brand. So of course, and if you are a personal brand, even then, so you should have not don't use every time a new font. No, don't get temptation. There are so many there are thousands of fonts. So you should have your favorite font. So I'm just putting my favorite, and favorite should be in a different category. So say this is these I have just put few of them my favorite brand font. This is some are normal, some are elegant, some are so where if I can use it, these are the font can be used for the festival, happy Diwali, happy Dasara. And this is I use for my Instagram, this thing, and this I use for the motivational. So these are the just five of the brands. So, and while choosing, to choose mix of the brand. Okay, now if you are a personal brand, okay, and if you are a brand, then you should not, you should have a brand family. Okay, Futura has a family. I think Helvetica has a family. So go there. Even the Perpetua has a family. And I think I have already shared sheet of a brand. So so even there are lots of brand. Keep only 3 4 brands constant. So since sometimes I do for clients. So for some client I have kept the open sans as the I always open sans in their communications. And so you and always choosing the for a personal brand, don't go more than five, and always mix. If I keep one brand constant, like say Instagram, if I keep this constant, there is a Roboto brand which is a normal brand, I try to keep for the body copy. Same way, you can keep. And always see, when you are choosing a brand, how does it look from the this is a normal. Remember once I told what is the normal and what is the reverse. So when it appears in the black in some other white background, so this is called a normal. And when it appears in a white in some other background, it's come as a a reverse. Same thing happens with the logo. So whenever you are choosing a font, see, some font, in a reverse, because it's very thin, so it becomes very difficult to print. But here we are talking about digital, so not to worry about that much. But yes, if you are going to printing, don't use too much thin font. The printing, it will break. Okay. So look at this font. I always like in the red background because it looks very festive. And here in a black, to me it does not I don't like that much in the black. But in the white, I'm a big fan of this brand. Okay. So and same way you can and also in the while choosing the brand or this thing, you see in the background, in the live photo background, how it will look, so and what kind of brand, background you should see here. Readability issue, it's not a good background, whether I should cut an image, I should darken the background, I do something, but I'm just putting it here, just to highlight the problem. So these are the mine. Okay. And also sometimes these are the these things. So now I'm stop sharing, and you have to go to Canva, spend 5 minutes and choose five of your favorite fonts, and just write. Say if Nita is writing, Nita you will write Nita, like these are the favorite font of Nita. Okay, so I want all of you to go, and the Canva has a good, they have lots of mm, like a font, so it's not, you are not going to like, and it has mixed with this. Okay. uh, no, you have to share your screen, and you also have to tell me why this is your favorite brand, and what is the character you like, whether it's elegant, whether it's going with your, so one by one, you have to, share your Canva screen. You have to put the name of the, font, and you have to tell me why do you like, what is the character, and I want to see whether it's a matching with your brand, whether it's a matching your personal brand or not. Okay. So who is sharing the their screen first? I'm giving access. So let me once, gallery. Okay. So you tell me one by one, if you have not done Anushka or Rangnath, hi Rangnath, so not to worry, just look at, maybe this is your first class. So, mm, but this process will help give you clarity of, see, sometimes, what we like, of course we have a reason, but we should able to articulate, what is in this thing. So you'll also be clarity. Okay. So Neeraj, are you sharing the screen? So
Sir,
okay. Yeah.
sir,
So
sir, I have one font, means it's my most favorite, but that font is not there in Canva.
uh, okay, which is the which one?
Obelix.
Okay. So why don't you share the Google screen and show me the this thing?
Okay, sir. Okay.
Okay. And but you have to keep five of the brand, the five fonts, and as I say, mix up the font. So I think Dhiresh, you already have put. So you go Canva and find that, or what you can do, go in the Google, find that, cut paste on the, as an image or whatever. And later on, you can find. I think Garamond is there, Bickman and Caslin also should be there in the Canva.
Yes,
So yeah, Dhiresh, you understood. If you don't find in the Canva, put in the this thing.
yeah, sure, sir. I will be doing that.
Yeah, yeah. So all of this, if you want to take 5 minutes for this exercise, take it and then share it. So let me